So, hello then, welcome back to another Night of the Movies video. I'm of course Spike Knight, and in these videos I love talking about things, movies and TV, and whatever I want, whenever I want. And in today's video, I continue on with my Christmas reviews as I review this newish Christmas movie titled Christmas Karma. So, let's get into it, shall we? Christmas Karma. This film came out a good few weeks ago now. I think it came out mid-November. It may have come out late November. Point is, came out in November. And I was planning to watch it when it came out, but as it always happens, life got in the way. And I didn't end up watching it when it was first released, but I've still been interested in seeing it because of the way it's being marketed, because it's being billed as this Bollywood-inspired take on the classic story of A Christmas Carol. The classic story of A Christmas Carol, which in my opinion has been done to death. And there's like two other film versions of A Christmas Carol, which have been announced for the next couple of years, which I'm just thinking, why? We've done this story so many times, and we've got some very good versions of the film as well. But the thing is about this movie, when I heard that it was going to be like a Bollywood-inspired take on this classic story told from a British Asian character point of view, I thought, okay, that could actually add some new life to this story, which again has been done to death, has been done so many times. So I've been wanting to see the film because of the take on this movie, because of the way it's been marketed. But I'd also be lying if I said I was excited, if I said I was, particularly looking forward to finally getting around to watch this movie, because it has been trashed by critics. Critics have been very harsh when it comes to this movie. I mean, I don't really read the Telegraph, but I did come across a Telegraph's review on this film, and you shouldn't really trust the Telegraph anyway, because it's got an agenda when it comes to a lot of movies. But their review of this film, they gave like 0 stars, and they called it the worst film since Cats, which came out in 2019. You know, that's not what you want to hear when it comes to a new release. It's the worst film since Cats. Wow! And other review outlets, other critics were not kind when it came to this film. So that did put me off seeing it, which it shouldn't have, in all honesty. I'm trying to not listen to critics as much anymore, but they're still there. It shouldn't have put me off watching the film, but it did. However, early today I did get to see it, and there are two other reasons, not only because of the way it's been marketed and because of the way, because of this new take on A Christmas Carol. That's not the only reason I want to see the film. There's also been two other big reasons, and reason number one, one of the other big reasons that I want to see this film is because it's directed by Gurinder Chadha. Apologies if I mispronounced her name there, but she is an interesting filmmaker who does a good job telling stories about British Asian communities. And she directed a film you might have heard of called Bend It Like Beckham, which is a really good film. And I think her most recent film before Christmas Karma, was a film called Bend It Like Beckham again. No, because I Blinded by the Light, which is about this British Asian kid who falls in love with Bruce Springsteen's music. And I thought that film was okay. I quite enjoyed it. So I was thinking, okay, she's a good filmmaker. She's made some good films in the past. I don't see where she would go wrong with this film, because it's a similar sort of territory. It's following a British Asian character. It's following characters in the British Asian community. So I thought, okay, let's see what she does with this film. She's a good filmmaker, and I want to see her new movie. Plus, another reason, the third big reason that I want to see this film, there's three big reasons. The way it's been marketed, Gurinder Chadha directing it, but the third big reason I want to see this film is because of the odd cast that was assembled for this movie. I mean, people talk about odd cast for films sometimes. Just listen to the cast of this film. I'm going to read who is in the cast of this film, and you get to hear how odd it really is. So, leading the cast, in the lead role in this film, you have Kunal Nayyar, who many people might know as Raj from The Big Bang Theory. Also in this cast, you have Danny Dyer, yes, Danny Dyer, who made his name with EastEnders. You have Pixie Lott, Boy George, Eva Longoria, Billy Porter, and Hugh Bonneville. that is such an odd cast. And I thought, okay, you've got some names there, some names that, haven't acted before, but people like Hugh Bonneville and Eva Longoria and even Danny Dyer have been in good stuff in the past. I'm not a big fan of Danny Dyer, but I liked him in the TV show Rivals, and I thought, and which wasn't too long ago, by the way, the second season that's coming back soon, or so I've heard. Anyway, point is, if you have people like that signing up to this film, there must have been something there, and I was hoping there would be. I was hoping that the critics would be wrong when it came to this film. And so early today, I went to watch it at the cinema, hoping for the best. And honestly, this film is bad. And it pains me to say that. I don't want to be sitting here ranting about this film. I honestly don't. So I don't think there's going to be a full-blown rant today, but I might get a bit ranty. However, I'd be lying to myself if I sat here and said, you know what? The critics were wrong about Christmas Karma. It's actually enormously enjoyable. I'd be lying to myself if I said that, because the film has so many problems. And one thing I will say before I get into the problems, though, is I don't think it's quite as bad as some people are making out to be. Some people, like, again, one of the film critics I saw online, they called this one the worst film since Cats, and I don't think that's fair. I think there is interesting and good parts to the film. I think there are parts which touch on things which are worth a discussion and are worth note. But ultimately, the film became almost unwatchable. I don't really know what this film was going for, because parts of it are really serious, and then parts of it are meant to be this fun, upbeat musical where everyone's dancing and singing with Christmas jumpers on, and I just didn't really know what to take from it. And, I mean, the musical numbers in the film don't work. This is a musical. This is a Christmas musical. And the thing is, right, the new songs that have been written for the film, and by the way, one of the songwriters of this film is Gary Barlow from Take That fame, and I'm not the biggest Take That fan. Some of the music I quite like, though, and when I saw that he was one of the songwriters for this film, I was like, oh, Gary Barlow, he's a good songwriter. But the songs for this film are surprisingly bad, and surprisingly really bad at that. I mean, they don't pass the Spotify test, which is pretty self-explanatory, but just in case you don't know what that is. The Spotify test is something I assess when it comes to a new musical movie. Like, am I going to come out of the movie and still listen to the song and listen to the songs on Spotify after seeing the film? And the thing is, I have no need to listen to any of the songs from Christmas Karma on Spotify. None of them stuck in my head. And again, some of the Gary Barlow is credited as a songwriter for the songs in this movie, but he's not the only songwriter, by the way. He's a co-songwriter, but still, none of the songs are catchy, none of the songs get stuck in your head, and none of them are really done well in the film. The musical numbers, they're trying to be these fun and entertaining and energetic musical numbers. Well, a lot of them are. There are a couple of musical numbers which are meant to be sad and melancholic and, meant to make you feel bad for the characters, but they just didn't work for me at all, because the miming when the actors were singing along to the big musical numbers wasn't right. It didn't look like they were actually singing, to the point that a few times it looked like they were singing a different song, and then they overlaid a different musical number over that moment where the person is singing, if you follow my thinking. A lot of the musical numbers, I was said, they're going, oh, this is quite badly directed. This is clearly not directed by someone who's directed a musical before, which I don't want to be saying, because again, Gurinder Chanda, who directed this film, is a good filmmaker. But I was sat there watching this film in quite a lot of the musical sequences thinking, this person is clearly not singing the song in this moment. And, that's the case with most musicals. Most musicals, they're miming when they actually are performing the song on the set when it's being recorded for the film, if you follow me. But you don't always tell that. You can't always tell. A lot of the times it actually looks like they're singing the song there in the moment, whilst in this movie, it doesn't look like they're singing the song there in the moment. And that makes a lot of the musical numbers, at least for me, feel unengaging, and made them feel quite sloppy as well. And, the musical aspect of the film is a big part of this movie. This movie is a musical, but the musical numbers just don't work. Plus, it doesn't help that the first musical number in the movie starts off with Danny Dyer singing. And listen, I'm starting to like Danny Dyer a bit after his role in Rivals. I thought he was really good in that show, like what he said. But, you know, when the film starts off with Danny Dyer singing, you think, okay, it can only go up from here. And it goes down from there, you know? It just, I don't know what the musical numbers were trying to do. And the last musical number in the film was almost unwatchable. It made me want to bawl my eyes out. Like, literally, the last musical number is everyone dancing and singing with Christmas jumpers and all being happy and going, oh yes, it's all great now, everything's all gonna be great for the rest of our lives. And I just sat there going, oh God, just the way it's all done, it's too happy, it's too upbeat. You know, considering what you've been through in the film, considering some of the subject matter that is brought up, like the cost of living crisis, this kid almost dying, which is like one of the main plot points of the Christmas Carol story, and the troubles that the people in the British Asian community face, and yet you're all singing and dancing at the end like there's no problems anymore, and you can't bring up that subject matter that is timely nowadays and then end the film in that sort of way. I just don't think you can. I don't think it felt earned, you know. And it also didn't help as well that I don't think Kunal Nayyar, who plays a lead in this film, who plays the Scrooge character in this movie, I don't think it helps that I don't think he can sing, you know. Because he doesn't have a musical number where he really sings in this movie. You'd think that the lead would have their own musical number where they sing essentially a monologue, where they sing something about what's going on in their lives, and have that one musical number which really makes you care about them, and which really makes you start to sympathise with that character. But you don't get that in this film. He doesn't really sing in this movie. It feels like everybody's singing around him because he can't sing. It feels like they gave everybody else singing to do because he can't sing, and he gets to sing a little bit towards the end of the film, but it did not look, nor did it sound like it was actually him singing. And yeah, I don't think it helped that Nayyar probably can't sing, and yet they cast him in the lead role of a musical. And also, he's not particularly good in the film. His performance is over the top for over the top's sake. I mean, you know, your performance as the Scrooge-like character has to be over the top to a degree, but when he was angry, I didn't believe he was angry. When he was happy, I felt like he was putting it on. And so I did not believe him in the lead role. And when he's meant to be facing up to his future, when he, you know, visits his future, when the ghost of Christmas future shows up, I was thinking, I don't buy into anything going on. Like, you're meant to be coming to this realisation here. And I'm not finding you at all compelling, and yet there's like a whole scene, I'm not going to say where it's taking place, but it's taking place in this one room where he's facing up to the ghost of Christmas future, and again, he's meant to be coming to this realisation. This is meant to be his redemption, this is meant to be his big redemption scene, and I just wasn't buying it. I was like, I don't buy into you in this lead role. I don't believe that you've had this difficult past. I don't believe that you've been through the ringer over this one night on Christmas Eve night when all the ghosts have visited you. I just don't believe you're in the lead role. And all the other performances are kind of bad as well. No one's really that good in the film. I mean, Hugh Bonneville is a great actor and he has a role in this film, but he also kind of doesn't, because he shows up and he's meant to be Marley, which is quite a big role. You know, it's the character that tells the Scrooge-like character, or tells Scrooge in the original version of the story, that he is going to be visited by 3 ghosts on Christmas Eve night. But the thing is, Marley in this film is done in this weird CGI way that just doesn't look right. I don't understand why they couldn't just put makeup on Hugh Bonneville and maybe put some like fake chains on him. Instead they go for this weird sort of CGI route. They go in this weird CGI direction with it, and the CGI looks like the CGI from the Polar Express. And the thing is, I think the Polar Express kind of gets away with the way its characters look because it's 21 years old now, if I've got my maths correct. I think I have. Yes, the Polar Express came out in 2004, so I think it kind of gets away with the way its characters look, in my opinion. But in this film, the CGI is so poor with Marley, and you're watching it go, who okayed this? Who thought that doing Marley as a CGI character was a good idea? Do this weird CGI thing, and that sounds like it's a small thing, but Marley is a big part to the story, and I don't think they got the Marley character right. I really don't. Plus, the Ghost of Christmas Future turns out to be Boy George. A little bit of a spoiler there for people who are wanting to see this one but just haven't yet. The Ghost of Christmas Future turns out to be Boy George, and I'm not quite sure why. I'm not sure why Boy George in this film. I've got nothing against Boy George, by the way. I'm sounding like I do. I've got nothing against him. He's got those 2 songs which are quite catchy. Don't think he's really got anything else when he's particularly of note. But I'm not. I don't mind Boy George. I'm just not the biggest fan of him. And yet he shows up in this film, and I'm like, why is he the Ghost of Christmas Future? What's the purpose of him being the Ghost of Christmas Future? Other than the fact that Boy George decided to be in the film, so you wanted to include him, but he couldn't come to set for more than a couple of days. That's what it felt like. Why was Boy George in this film? Why was a lot of the cast in this movie? Eva Longoria is the Ghost of Christmas, and the Ghost of Christmas Past, and she shows up. But she's not that good in the film either. Why was Eva Longoria the Ghost of Christmas Past? And then Billy Porter the Ghost of Christmas Present? And at least he's trying, Billy Porter. At least he's trying. Maybe the whole purpose of the film was to make the Ghost of Christmas Past and the Ghost of Christmas Present in this movie be completely different. But it felt too different at the same time. It felt too drastically different. Because the stuff in the Ghost of Christmas Past was probably the most interesting part of the film, and is the reason I don't think this film is quite as awful as some people are making out to be. Like, again, some people are making out this is the worst movie like the past decade, when I just don't think that's the case. And I think that isn't the case because of the stuff with the Ghost of Christmas Past, when you learn about our lead character's backstory, and you learn about how he was this immigrant. And that part of the film I thought was timely, and actually spoke to a lot of things that are going on in our world right now, especially in the UK, and I liked that part of the film. I mean, I wouldn't say I thought it was great, but one thing I liked about that part of the film, all the stuff to do with the Ghost of Christmas Past, was you can tell it was Gorinda Chadha. She does a good job capturing the British Asian community and capturing how they live, how people in the British Asian community live, and how they sort of bind together. And I thought that was done well. Not very well, but done well. And that is probably the biggest part of the film. That's probably the only part of the film where I was like, okay, I'm liking this. I think this is not as bad, and I am actually getting a little bit engaged in what's going on. But the rest of the movie, I just think, becomes this schmaltzy Christmas mess that is overdone. I mean, all this stuff to do with the Ghost of Christmas Present, I was watching it going, oh, I'm getting a headache from this. I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's another thing about this film. It's overtly emotionally manipulative. And, most films, in fact, all movies are emotionally manipulative. They're always trying to make you feel things. But this film does it so overtly so. You're watching it and, oh my god, the dialogue is so in your face. The musical numbers and the lyrics in the musical numbers are so in your face, and then you get songs in the background which you don't see characters singing, but you hear in the background quite a few scenes. And again, it's just that all these parts of the film, the dialogue, the lyrics and the musical numbers, or the lyrics and the songs that are used in the background of so many scenes in the film, are trying to make you feel things. They're telling you how to feel, and not in a subtle way. Honestly, I did want to say to the filmmakers of the movie, have you ever heard of the word subtlety? Sometimes you don't need to tell us how to feel. We can just get there ourselves. Or you can just do it something subtly, which will make us get there ourselves. But instead, there's dialogue in so many scenes. And pretty much throughout the entire of the movie where you're going, okay, yep, I'm being told how to feel now by these characters in the scene. Or in the musical numbers, it's like I'm being told how to feel when everyone's singing and dancing. Or I'm being told how to feel when there's this sad, meaningful song playing in the background. And it's like, we don't need to keep being told how to feel. We can get there ourselves. Stop telling us how to feel, because actually that's not going to make us feel the way you want us to. You know, and you get that a lot throughout this film. And Pixie Lott is in this movie. Not really sure why. Oh no, I know why, to do the singing. But she's not really good in the film. Again, got nothing against Pixie Lott, but I'm not really sure where you have the likes of Boy George and Pixie Lott in the film, who, as far as I'm aware, have not done acting in the past, and it shows when they come on screen. And yet Pixie Lott actually has quite a big role in the film. She gets appearing on screen. I'm like, what? It's like her agent kept trying to get her in scenes, you know? And it's just, so much of the film annoyed me, and it didn't make me feel Christmassy, which I think is another one of its biggest crimes. The thing about this film is it actually made me kind of annoyed with the way people look at Christmas sometimes. And listen, I love Christmas. Just look behind me. I've got a big Santa thing there. I've got some Christmas lights on the tree back there. I've got a Christmas t-shirt on for this review today. And I always do Christmas reviews on this channel around this time of the year because I love Christmas. But in this film, it feels like they are pushing Christmas in your face. I mean, there's one scene early on in the movie. It's not a scene, but it's just, there's one part which goes on for about 2 minutes, and it's just shots of, I want to say London, but I'm not sure if it was. It's a shot of where this film is set at Christmas. It's just shots of Christmas lights, shots of Christmas decorations, shots of the markets at Christmas, and I'm like, again, why? Why are we doing this? Stop telling me how to feel. Stop trying to make me feel Christmassy. Instead, just do it through the film. Just do it through the characters and do it through what's going on. But the film didn't really make me feel Christmassy and actually made me go, you know what? Maybe sometimes we do go over the top of Christmas. And when we do go over the top of Christmas, we get films like this, which again are just over the top for over the top's sake. I was watching the film and I'm just, the more it went on, the more I cringed it. It was toe curlingly cringeworthy, to the point that I don't think my toes are quite curled out yet. I mean, it's so cringy, so cringeworthy, to the point that I got to the end of the movie and I kept turning away from the screen because I couldn't deal with the amount of cringe on screen. And I don't like the word cringe. I don't like it. I don't like it when people refer to movies as cringy, but you've got to refer to this one as cringy. It's cringy on another level. And sure, all Christmas movies are going to be cringy to a certain degree. That's kind of in the ingredient of a good Christmas movie. But this movie takes it to another level. I mean, Christ, I thought Oh What Fun was cringy. So nothing compared to this movie. It's got nothing on the cringe meter compared to this film. So you get the point. It wasn't for me. However, I do think it'll find an audience, because all of Grinda Chandler's films have found an audience. And I went to go and see this, on the 18th of December. And I think it's been out for, like I said, about maybe a month, or just under a month now. It's been out for a good couple of weeks. And so people have had quite a few chances to see this film. And yet I watched it today when it's been out, again, for a good few weeks. And there were still people in the cinema. So I do think it'll find an audience. I do think people will end up enjoying the film. Maybe ironically, there were some people on my row in the cinema who seemed to be enjoying the film. I'm not sure if they were enjoying it the way the film wants them to, So there is that. But again, I do think it'll find an audience. And I do think for some people this will become a family Christmas classic in years to come. Kind of the same way that the Nativity films have. I mean, I think the first Nativity is miles better than this movie, but Nativity 2, I haven't seen any of the other Nativity movies, but Nativity 2 I think is a lot of rubbish, and yet it has found an audience. And I can see the same sort of thing, happening with this film. But at the end of the day, the film's just one big missed opportunity. The whole Bollywood aspect of the film isn't in there nearly as much as it should be. There's one Bollywood musical number in the film, which I didn't mind. I mean, again, the miming in by the actors who were meant to be singing in that scene didn't look good, but I thought that was, if I'm being generous, an alright scene, and there's a bit of Bollywood at the end of the film, but it isn't nearly in there. It isn't in there nearly as much as it should be, the whole Bollywood aspect. And again, the parts that I thought were interesting and touched on important and timely subject matter, particularly in the UK right now, and those parts were really the parts during the Ghost of Christmas Past segment of the film. But the rest of the film I thought was overdone Christmas schmaltz. That's what I thought it was. And I don't think it's quite as bad as people are making it out to be, because at least it was trying to entertain me. You know, a lot of Christmas films feel like... There's some Christmas movies which feel lazy, and this film didn't. But in trying to entertain me, it felt like it was trying to entertain me too much, and that actually became more frustrating to watch. It was like, stop it, you're going a bit over the top here. And then I kept having those same thoughts over and over again as the film progressed. You're going a bit over the top, you're trying to do too much, and by the end of the movie, I was quite happy to leave the cinema, to get away from the cringe that I just sat through in the last hour. I mean, the last hour of the film is so cringy, to the point that I almost couldn't bear it, and the film almost became unwatchable. But again, it has its moments. I don't think it's quite as terrible as some people make it out to be. And so, all in all, I'm going to say that Christmas Karma, I'm going to say that it's a 3 out of 10. Okay, I'm being a bit generous there, and I am being generous because there's clearly been a lot of work put into this film. Clearly. When you watch the film, you can tell that. And again, you can tell that they're trying to entertain you. But, again, in the trying to entertain you, I think it actually becomes annoying, the trying to entertain you, because it feels like they're trying too hard. And I think that's another big problem with this movie. I mean, I could go on and on with the problems. At one point in one of the musical sequences, there's breakdancing. Why? Don't ask me, because it's meant to be taking place in an office, that musical sequence. So, yeah, I don't understand why that was there. And, I mean, the film... I don't like films which tell you how to feel. It's that whole thing with movies. Show, don't tell. And this film does the opposite. And Danny Dyer's randomly in this movie. I don't really know why. And there's a cast of actors in this film, quite big actors, who keep popping up throughout the movie. And again, I'm not really sure why. And that's another thing. The end, there's something towards the end of this film which reminded me of the end of Return of the Jedi. I don't understand why they did that. I mean, it's just, oh god. And the ending is like, it's cheese, it's cringe, it's on another level. I mean, they're all singing with Christmas jumpers and all happy, and it's like, why? It's just, oh no, it's too much, it's almost unwatchable. And that's how I felt coming out of the film, you know. It became almost unwatchable to me. So, it's not one of the worst Christmas movies I've seen, and it's not one of the worst movies this year that I've seen. But, oh my god, it's a huge missed opportunity. A huge missed opportunity, especially with this director, who I think also wrote the script of the film, which isn't well written, unfortunately. And with this idea, with this take on A Christmas Carol, they could have done something special. They could have made a new Christmas classic, a new British Christmas classic. But instead, they made another Christmas turkey. And yeah, this film I thought was overdone Christmas schmaltz, and not in a good way at all. And so, all in all, as I've already said, and I was going to say once more in today's video, Christmas Karma is a 3 out of 10 from me. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. If you've seen Christmas Karma, please let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the film, Let me know why I'm wrong in the comment section below as well. Yes, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down below. And as always, thank you for watching or listening to this video today. And if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like and subscribe on this video. And look forward to many more videos and many more reviews coming. Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? Look forward to many more videos coming very, very soon on this channel. As already said, thank you so much for watching this video today, and I will see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.